Hello and welcome! This character profile video is for the class Archer, and what you'll see is all of his skills, the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend, his skill combos, enhancements, player card, and a gameplay video. So, without further ado, I am pleased to present to you Archer. Here we go. And welcome to the Skills Slide. If you are new to my character profile videos, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side are all of his skills. On the right hand side is all the specials that go with these skills. Then the column charges is how many times you can use the skill. And hits is how many times the skill will hit a creature or opponent that in the game world. And then there's damage-PVE. That's the highest percentage damage that skill will do against a creature in the world. And then damage-PVP is the highest percentage damage that skill will do against another player's character. And of course, the passive skill at the bottom. So a few things to mention on this slide, and that is over in the specials where it says super armor in red, that just means that does not apply when you go into arena. Everywhere else in the game you will get the super armor, but just not in arena, so heads up to that. And then there is the passive at the bottom and the text that's in green, and it coincides with what you see in the skills column where those things are green. That just means that the passive connects to those skills that are colored green. And that is pretty much it. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the top 8 PVE skills that I recommend. Here we go. And welcome to the PVE slide. What I've done is I've taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVE, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest. And Concentrated Blast is your highest damaging skill. So taking a look at everything here, it's it's pretty easy to do. If you're wondering how to use these ones, then that'll be in the combo slide coming up. But the reason why there's certain ones that are highlighted green is we can only take 8 skills into the game world at a time. So these are the ones that I recommend, and it's to get familiar with his skills if you're new to the character, and then over time you'll see which ones you like, and then you'll change it up yourself. So take a moment to look at all this, and when you're ready, we'll go over the top 8 PvP skills that I recommend. There's a lot to cover, so here we go. And welcome to the PvP slide. There is a lot to cover here, so let's go ahead and knock out the basics. I have taken all the skills and I've organized them according to the column of damage-PVP, with the highest percentage at the top all the way down to the lowest. And your highest damaging skill is still Concentrated Blast. And you already know why there is 8 of them colored green. Once again, that's all we can take into the game world. Now, what people who play PvP always want to know is what skills can I use to activate my super armor in arena as well as in the game world. And those 2 skills are Bolt Storm and Luminous Barrage. I would highly recommend Bolt Storm because it is a higher percentage of damage than Luminous Barrage, and you cannot be grabbed while using the skill, and provides a bound on hit, which if it connects with the creature or opponent you're fighting, will knock them down, which is always good. You can get extra hits in. So what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and cover the passive at the bottom. It says that it's called Focus Shot, and it applies this Focus Shot for 20 seconds when using skills 2 times. So any skill in this list except for Crossbow Mastery. It just doesn't work. And here's what you get when you use your passive. It increases all skill damage by 10%. While active, it applies additional effects to Concentrated Blast, Luminous Barrage, Radiant Barrage, and Scattershot. It increases damage to monsters by 10% for 5 seconds, and on hit, 2% of the HP damage is given to other adventurers. So that's a heal component along with everything else. So what I'm going to do now is I want to cut to a video that shows you what your passive looks like when it's active. So let me go ahead and cue that video up and we'll be right back. So here we go. And here we are. So first things first is at the bottom right of the screen is the 4 skills I talked about: Concentrated Blast, Luminous Barrage, Radiant Barrage, and Scatter Shot. But we want to show you what happens when you do the basic attack. And I just used it twice. There's no passive being active, nothing is being shown. I'm now determined to kill him with basic attacks. So let's show you what it looks like when you use the other skills. And it's any of the other skills, it doesn't have to be just these 4. So there's 1, and let us use 2. And there you have it. This is what it looks like when your passive is active. Very obvious. You're glowing. You got things coming out like embers. And can't miss it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and return back to the PvP slide. And we'll keep going with the information. Here we go. And welcome back to the PvP slide. So that pretty much covers everything I wanted to show you for this section. But once again, I wanted to say I'm sorry, I don't know what those additional effects are when your passive is active for the skills listed in green on the left side of the screen. I just don't know. I'd have to try to figure it out, spending more time with this character. So when you're ready, we'll go ahead and move on to the skill combo slide. Here we go. And welcome to the skill combo slide. So before I tell you how this works, allow me to tell you where you can find it. So if you're in the game and you bring up the menu screen and to the right you see a tile that says skills, go ahead and tap on that and now you're on the skills screen. And if you look in the middle and towards the bottom, you'll see an icon that looks like a magnifying glass with a circle around it, and it will say skill combos next to it. You tap on that and you bring this window up, the list of skill combos. And what this is Pearl Abyss has put together skills that you can use to create combos. Now this is only to give you an idea of what to use to get combos going. And again, as I said earlier, over time you'll know which ones you like and prefer and which ones work best. So let's go ahead and explain how this screen works. On the left hand side in blue is the skill you would start out with. Like at the top where it says snapshot, you'd use that, and then the icon for chain into is in the middle, and then the gray skills are what you would do next. You have choices. So for snapshot, you can chain it into the skill Luminous Barrage, or you can chain it into Radiant Barrage. And then of course below that they're saying if you use Concentrated Blast, then chain it into Radiant Barrage, and so on and so forth. This is to give you an idea on what you can do to get combinations going with your character. And of course at the bottom is Evasion. That is, if you're looking at your gameplay window and the skills in the bottom right corner, it is the furthest bottom right corner thing you can tap on to make your character evade or get out of the way. So they're saying when you're fighting a creature, evade out of the way and then use Luminous Barrage or use Radiant Barrage, your choice. So take a moment to look at this, and when you're ready, we're going to move on to the Enhancement Slide. Here we go. And welcome to the Enhancement Slide. If you are new to this slide, allow me to introduce the interface. On the left hand side are all of his skills. On the far right hand side is the branch damage connected to those skills. And then there's 4 columns in the center. The first one, second, and fourth one are all things that benefit your archer. The third column is enhancements that affect the creature or opponent you're fighting. So sometimes it doesn't turn out that way, but that's the general layout. And now let's talk about certain things on this slide. First of all, if you look at Luminous Barrage and go all the way over to the far right where it says heal 60 HP per hit, the reason the word heal is gold is because it doesn't apply in Path of Glory. So your archer's not going to heal himself, but everywhere else he will. And of course you know about the super armor in red, it doesn't apply in arena. And you know about the green in the skills list on the left hand side. So a moment to say this. All the enhancements need to be unlocked, and the way that you unlock them is you fight monsters in the world of Elion or Hadum, and you get these skill books in Elion, but in Hadum it's through treasure chests that you get different skill books. You apply silver and learn these skill books, and the skill books apply to the skills randomly. So there's no way to tell you if you go to this one spot and fight this one creature, you'll get the skill books for lethal spread and just lethal spread. It doesn't work that way. It's always random. So once you get up to the level that's needed, you just pay some silver and you learn the enhancement and unlock it. So all of them need to be unlocked. Some you just pay silver, others, like I said, have the level requirement. So with that being said, taking a look at everything that your archer has, I should probably mention what flow means. If you look at Luminous Barrage and Radiant Barrage in the first column, a flow is another skill on top of the skill that's already there. So Luminous Barrage does its own thing, and when you unlock this flow, it'll be another skill on top that does the same damage as Luminous Barrage. It allows you to hold the button down for an additional attack. It gives you super armor, and it applies a knockdown. So it's just like an Oreo cookie. 2 skills combined into one when you unlock it. And of course, bleed 60 damage at 1 second for 3 seconds, so that's always nice. Quite honestly, if I was doing this character, I would go to unlock them all, because that just makes your character stronger. So take a moment to look at these enhancements, and when you're ready, we'll move on to the player card. Here we go. And welcome to the player card. It is like a baseball card. It is all the slides you saw previous, all put together on one screen. And there's something new. So allow me to introduce the interface. At the very top is the top 8 PVE and PVP skills that I recommend. And to the right is something new. It's called Immobilization. And anytime that a skill knocks a creature or opponent down, or freezes them, or knocks them in the air, stuns them, anything like that, it immobilizes them. They need to take a moment to get up, compose themselves, and be ready back for the fight. And that is usually your cue to get in extra hits. So PvP people really want to be aware of their immobilizations. Looking at Archer, he has just about all of his skills has one immobilization to it, which is really good. Now, if you're wondering, I still don't understand what you're talking about in terms of mobilization, let's take the one at the very top, Lethal Spread. And if you look down on the skills slide right there, or the skills section for Lethal Spread, It says over in specials, knockback on last hit. So when it's done hitting the creature or opponent 6 times, that last hit has the option to knock them down, or knock them back, excuse me. But if they're using super armor, that might not be the case, and I'll get into that as we get closer to the bottom of this player card. And below skills is enhancements. You just saw everything there. Below that is the legend for what's not applied in Path of Glory or Arena. And now we get to what forward guard and super armor is. So forward guard, this means that incoming damage will either be 0 or heavily reduced. So if you have a skill that has forward guard, think of it like a shield in front of you. If your opponent is in front of you or in front to the right or the left and they are damaging you, that damage, like I said, will be 0 damage or just severely reduced to the point you can laugh. But if they get behind you, then they can hurt you pretty bad, normal damage. So your forward guard won't protect you. That's how it works. Super armor. This means that incoming damage will be reduced, and the effects that immobilize you, like stun, knockdown, freeze, etc., will not happen for a duration of time. There's no way to know how long the super armor lasts, and Pearl Abyss will not let us know, and they never will know, because that just, you'd exploit that. If you knew how long it lasted and you were fighting someone in a battle, you could be like, their super armor's just about up. So the reason why you do all these immobilizations is the chance that you will get one in and knock them down. So this is how this works. Take a moment to look at the player card, and when you're ready, the music is gonna change and we're gonna move on to the gameplay section, where we show you what the archer can do. Here we go. And welcome to the gameplay video. But before we get started, let us show you where we're at. We are over here in Balanos, and we are at Kron Castle entrance. And we're here because their CP is 2519 and our CP is 3249. We're gonna have some fun. So the way this works is we'll use this auto path that we have set up for Kron Castle entrance. The archer's gonna go fight for about 2-3 minutes, at which time we will go back to town. I'll give my outro and say thank you. So without further ado, I give you the class Archer. Here we go. And it's just about ready, or time for us to head back to town. There we go. And allow me to say thank you. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like my videos, please subscribe, like, let people know. I'm always making more videos, and there are a lot more videos to do. So what we're gonna do now is put our archer in a pose, you know, just show him off, and zoom in. We'll have him give a wave. I don't know if you heard that over my voice. Here, let's have him clap. And there we go. Once again, thank you. You all have a great day. Take care. Bye now.